micro and nanoplastics and sudden infant death syndrome. Since nanoplastics can cause chronic inflammation in any tissue they penetrate, they can disrupt the formation of neural connections even before birth, including in the regions of the fetal brain that control breathing and heart function. After birth, the damaging influence of electrostatically charged nanoplastics continues. An infant's nervous system is still developing and remains highly unstable. Therefore, even minor disturbances in signal transmission can lead to respiratory or cardiac arrest. These very functions are often impaired in infants who die from sudden infant death syndrome. Moreover, when micro and nanoplastics damage mitochondria, the affected cells begin producing less energy. To compensate for this deficit, they increase the number of copies of mitochondrial DNA and expand their population of mitochondria. Studies have shown that children who died from sudden infant death syndrome had a significantly higher number of mitochondrial DNA copies in their cerebral cortex compared with control groups, suggesting that this number may serve as a biomarker in cases of sudden infant death syndrome. Thus, exposure to micro and nanoplastics may be a key factor in the development of sudden infant death syndrome, as well as in a range of pathologies that contribute to premature infant mortality.
We're unable to protect ourselves, and worst of all, our children from the effects of micro and nanoplastics. While modern diagnostic equipment capable of accurately identifying the true causes of disease and death is still not available everywhere, we can say with high degree of confidence that nanoplastics contribute to the development of many illnesses and may accelerate their progression. In those rare cases where detailed postmortem examinations were conducted, researchers have found significant amounts of micro-nanoplastic particles precisely in the affected organs and tissues. For example, in brain tissues, atherosclerotic plaques, malignant tumors, and other pathological formations. But despite millions of deaths every year, such investigations into the presence of these plastic particles are carried out only in isolated cases. There are two main reasons for this. First, many laboratories simply lack the equipment required to reliably detect micro and nanoplastics. Second, doctors and researchers, they rarely consider the possibility that these particles could potentially influence the development or outcome of the disease. Consequently, medical reports continue to list familiar diagnoses, although behind them may lie an overlooked factor: the impact of micro and nanoplastics on the human body. I understand that hearing this part of our investigation may have been very difficult. It was for me as well, believe me. But the impact of micro nanoplastics on all of us is not something we can continue to ignore. This is a crisis already underway, one that remained unnoticed for so long because the threat has been working silently within. Every day, and I'm not talking about every year or every month, but every single day, the amount of micro and nanoplastics around us continues to increase. Large plastic waste constantly breaks down into smaller particles, and these particles eventually enter our bodies through the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. This means that with every meal, every sip of water, and every breath, huge quantities of nanoplastics enter our bodies and begin their destructive work. Their harmful effects on our cells grow in direct proportion to their concentration. And this is a scientific fact. What's even more alarming is that today, there is already so much micro nanoplastics accumulated in the ocean that it will be enough to destroy the entire biosphere, including humans, at least 3 times over. When we hear about threats of such magnitude, our instinct is to run away from them. And I understand that. It may feel like the only logical response is to eliminate plastic from our lives completely, or better yet, to take our family and move to some pristine corner of our planet. But would that really solve the problem? In fact, where could we possibly go to escape micro and nanoplastics?